one of the oldest bugs in Minecraft getting fixed, more links in the menu, new interactive map for 15-year anniversary, and many tweaks to the upcoming 1.21 features. Hello there, Ray here, and today we'll take a look at all of these, plus at the end of the video I'll help you get all 3 of the Minecraft capes before the upcoming deadline. Guys, we got our old Piston sound back. It sounds so much more natural. I'm not sure why they all of a sudden decided to completely change that sound, as it just didn't quite seem like the Piston sound that we're used to. But what they did instead is they reverted back to the old noise and then they just reduced the loudness of it. I'm glad that they did it this way, as the Piston noise is pretty iconic at this moment. Do you like it that they brought it back again? Now normally you can't just ride a boat or minecart or ride any type of mob through a nether portal and actually get teleported onto the other side. That's because portals like nether portals and end portals will only teleport entities if they're on their own, or something like a gateway portal can actually teleport us. But now this can be changed with a game rule. This new game rule is called entities with passengers can use portals. You can set this to true when normally it is false. Now that's turned on, we can go ahead and have ourselves like a player riding a pig. We now have a passenger, and if I walk into this portal here, it actually immediately teleports, which is pretty crazy, which you normally can't do as the player, but because we're riding an entity, that thing can normally immediately teleport, so we can actually get over to the nether much quicker this way. But we can also take like a minecart roller coaster system and actually go directly through portals and come out the other side and continue moving. This also means it's possible to get passengers, which are normally impossible in some dimensions. Like you normally can never get a skeleton jockey over here in the nether dimension. That's because the spiders can only naturally generate over in the overworld, and that's where they would have a small chance to have a skeleton on top of them. And you can never actually transport them through the portal to get them over here. And the same thing applies for other types of jockeys like strider jockeys, which you normally can't get into the overworld. And on like RaysGrid, where we're collecting all the different mobs in zoos, we can't actually have these type of rare mobs moved into our overworld zoo, but instead just leave them in our nether one. But if you would enable this game rule on your server, then you could actually transport them. But since most servers deal with the default rules, this new cool change won't affect most survival worlds. And passengers not going through nether portals was a really old bug, so old it's actually Minecraft's 67th bug that was reported, where now they're close to 300,000 bug reports. So it's pretty crazy to see this bug actually get fixed, even though it's not implemented into the normal world. At least got a game rule that lets you turn it on if you want to. So this 12-year-old bug finally got resolved. But something cool that they did add back in for the vanilla game is that entities can now create the other side of this portal. So way back in the past, if you had another portal like this and there wasn't another portal on the nether side yet, because nothing has went through it, if you try to send something like a sheep or other non-player entity through, it wouldn't actually get teleported over. Now I'm not sure why they changed it way back then, but they went ahead and reverted it back. So now anything that goes through this portal, even though it's way out in a new location and there's nothing on the other side, you can see it does get teleported over there, and it creates its own nether portal while doing so. So you no longer have to like build a portal and then hop through it to actually produce the other side of the portal. Now if you're trying to transport something through, you can just push it through the portal and it will immediately create this portal on the other side, as well as load these chunks. So overall, this will just make it a little bit easier to move stuff. Now after you've looted a vault, you can't loot the same one twice, so they now made it so if you try again, you can easily see that the vault's not like opening its little mouth up and it's not making any noise or anything when you get close to it or when you have a key or when you try to right click on it. And they did this so that players know which ones they have looted and which ones they haven't. Now a cool trick with wind charges where you could throw them and then redirect them by punching them soon after you threw them was removed today. I thought this was pretty useful because wind charges are a little bit random when they get thrown from you, but if you redirect them and makes them straight again, so you can be really precise when using wind charges with this trick, but now it's removed. Things that are riding other things will now be affected by wind charges when before they couldn't. Now when the breeze will actually hit you with their breeze bullets, and if you have thorns, this can now do thorns effect back onto the breeze. Same thing if a player would throw like a wind charge at you while you're wearing thorns, which means my breeze rod and trial key farm, which still works, can now have the simpler of the two versions work without using a macro, just by having the breeze damage you and then the thorn damaging it back. It can apply the looting effect onto the dying breeze. Now one of the armor trims needs copper in order to make a copy of it, so they added it so you can use both waxed and unwaxed copper in order to do this. Normally when placing down two doors, they will always face towards each other, making double doors, but if you use two different types of wax copper, this wasn't happening. So now it will work like the other doors. The mace will no longer create too many particles when it's doing smash attack, which was creating a little bit of a leg spike. They fixed the bug from way back in 2013, where despite playing on peaceful mode, the hunger saturation would actually get depleted. And if you play in peaceful, you know that you automatically get regen because your hunger bars are always sustained. One that we noticed while playing in our testing server is the quick charge on a crossbow wasn't working if you put the crossbow in your offhand. It would end up having to load really slowly. So that was reverted back to the way it was before, being fast. With the recent changes to enchantments, they accidentally made it so that Frostwalker was converting flowing water into blocks of Frostwalker ice, which oddly was the way that the boots worked in the very beginning when they first added them into the game, and it made some infinite ice bridges using this. They fixed creepers, as in the snapshots they accidentally made it so that they wouldn't produce these area effect clouds when they have an effect put on them and they blow up. And I showed how this cool trick can be used to make infinite effects as long as you have a creeper farm that can continue to sustain them. There was a crash bug related to the oozing potion. If any mob that died with it would immediately crash your game. This happened to me quite a bit when trying to update my oozing slime farms. So now I can finally finish working on those, and I'll eventually put videos up. You guys can make super fast oozing farms even with the recent nerf. When it comes to damage and how a mob panics, they separated out the difference between the majority of the mobs, which doesn't matter if they get like hit by a player or if they take a little bit of fire damage. When they start panicking, it's always one type of panic, kind of running around, compared to when a mob like the wolf or panda or polar bear, there's a difference if they get damage from like fire and they run around like that, or if the player comes in and hits them, this is a different type of panic and they come towards the player. But they did fix it so that when wolves that are taking damage in lava can now actually teleport to the player, when prior in this situation they would never be able to teleport, which would most likely cause them to die. So if you have your wolf in like some lava or some water and it's dying, then go ahead and hurry move away so that the wolf can teleport to you and at least get out of it. A new entity selector was placed in. So if you're going to execute something at a specific type of entity, now we have another option, which is at N. This is going to choose the nearest entity. Let's go ahead and say we're going to run a command that's going to teleport this nearest entity to some new location. And since I'm the nearest entity, I'm the one that gets teleported. But you can use this in combination with commands so that whatever gets close to command will be the thing that gets teleported. And this will be useful in a wide variety of different types of commands. They added jukebox as being data driven. This just means that you can now take any type of item in the game, give it certain different components, and then these components will allow it to be placed into a jukebox and be played just like a normal music disc. They change attributes. These are things in the game that can give entities special abilities, and they change these from using UUIDs to now using a uniquely identified namespace ID, similar to all other types of resources. Attributes can be applied to entities, item stacks, and even enchantments have them, although it did seem like it broke some of the glittering on some of these enchanted items. They also added a new button which will pop up here on the game menu on servers if servers ever provide a list of links for clients. And if this button pops up, then the report button as well as the feedback one are moved together to make room for the new one. And there has been some improvements made for the disconnection screen, like clients collecting extra information similar to crash reports, so don't be surprised if you see these new buttons. Now when it comes to producing these random structures, they use these jigsaw blocks, and now with them you can come in and introduce padding, which is a way to kind of keep the structures away from other things. You can say like, okay, keep everything at least 10 blocks away from underneath of it and like 10 blocks away from above it, and that way the structure doesn't like poke through something that you don't want it to. Overall, this keeps the structures more hidden. Trial chambers will now try to avoid spawning inside of deep dark biomes. Did you like the look of the deep dark coming through? I thought it was pretty cool. The 15-year anniversary map is now available, the one that was sneak peek. If you just come up here to the search bar and look for the words called 15-year and hit enter, you can see it right here. There's also one called 15-year party supplies. Clicking on this one, this is the one where you get memory lane. and it is free, so just click that, and then you go ahead and download it because it is an actual world. And in order to put that onto your computer to play, you have to have all that stuff downloaded, as you'll be playing this in a single player world versus being on a multiplayer world where the servers has the actual world somewhere else. Now if we just click create this world, we can choose what type of options we want to play in. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock these settings so I can zoom around in creator mode and show you guys stuff. And then we'll load up the world by pushing create. Look at this, guys. Go ahead and click play. Got a little intro scene. And now you get to take control and you can check out all the different things within this crazy map. This map has a lot of stuff in it. The main thing is that there is a museum that kind of shows the main themes throughout the different years of Minecraft, as there is 15 years to go through. Then you're given this book which you can use to complete different activities to gain stickers, and then you can fill out the book. Very interactive, a lot of stuff you can check out and do. I think this is a really cool way to kind of celebrate the 15-year anniversary, while at the same time people that didn't play through all 15 years can learn about the main things that occur in these years. First off, there is the alpha map, which was one of the earliest versions in the game where they just started adding in random stuff like the different colored wool. I remember back in the day my computer screen was so poor that I was trying to hide in the ground and there was grass on top, and since there was no way to get the grass blocked, the closest thing I could find was actually green wool. And yeah, let's just say it wasn't the best way to hide because people can easily see that I was hiding below there. Man, the old cobblestone really brings back a lot of memories. Now in the very beginning there was only like a handful of blocks you could choose from. Even some of the most basic blocks weren't added until later on, but you can see some of the ones that they placed in. And I remember people making mods where the sponges could do cool things like remove lava. And here you can see some of the original blocks that you gotta choose from when playing in the game. And this one talks about how lava could make infinite sources, very similar to water, and how it could just continue to spread until it took over your whole world. This is great for mini games that had the lava slowly take over the map, and the last person to survive it would be the winner. And there's even a part where you can join in and actually play as if you are back in the alpha Minecraft days. This is where they started added in the survival mode, and you had to start paying for the actual game. One of the very first places I actually survived in alpha was kind of like a ledge like this. And me and my siblings built like a little wall around here, taking turns playing on the computer. And then all the scary bad guys were on the outside, especially at night. There was a bunch of them. And back then, some of the most basic mob farms were just making a little hole in the ground along your wall so that the mobs would fall down into the hole, and then coming in from the backside and making a hole and then killing them by hitting their feet. But yeah, Minecraft farms came a long way since then. And by coming over here and using this, you can switch from what it looked like in alpha to what it looks like nowadays. Wow, that is crazy. Much simpler time back then. Really cool memories of alpha, and there's a lot of little secrets hidden throughout this thing. Here they got the display on how the creeper was made. I remember this, how they had this image here that popped up. And then they eventually had this. This was actually shown quite a few times before the actual creeper was given this kind of camouflage in order to try to camouflage with like the tree leaves and the greenery. Now if you didn't play back in the day, a lot of times you'd get your information related to the Minecraft updates from Notch's blog that he would talk about all the different things that he was trying to add to the game. And then after him talking about it, it would eventually get put into these versions which you could actually play. What do you guys think of the 15-year map? I think it did quite well. Besides alpha, they also have a theme for dimensions. Over here is one about the fuzzy bees. That was a kind of a big update, I think 1.15. Got their cakes going on because of the 15-year anniversary. We got this one all about the caves and cliffs. Also a pretty big change to how the world looks. Exploration, all the different things you can find by exploring biomes and structures. And one all about the aquarium, which is all the aquatic stuff they added in. How are you enjoying the 15-year anniversary, and do you plan on playing this map if you haven't already? Now I will walk you through how to get each of the 3 new capes before the end of the month, which is the first deadline. And if you're struggling to get a certain cape, I've added in some new information that could help you. First, let's take a look at how to get the TikTok cape. Now you need to join a live stream that has the rewards enabled, and my stream hasn't turned on, and I'm currently live, so click the link down in the description to join it. And I'm also live on Twitch, so you can go over there to get the cape or the glitch mask. Otherwise, go over to the mobile TikTok app. as I haven't heard anyone that got it to work on the desktop website. So once you're on the app, you can search for Minecraft and then click on the live tab at the top. And then you can just click on any of the streamers. And then from there, click on right here where it says game reward. And this will show you streamers that have the game reward for Minecraft turned on. And then just go ahead and click on one of those streamers and it should look like this. And notice right here is this little icon. And this icon will be where your reward will show up. So then tap this and it will load up this image here. This will tell you what you need to actually do in order to get the reward. And the reward is a TikTok cape. So it says how to get reward, add one comment with the keyword Minecraft. Make sure to click this button as you accept the rules of the reward. Now if it says it's unavailable, that means that you have to find a streamer that is from your region. Otherwise, I've heard that a VPN can work to move where they think you are at. And if you're still struggling to try to get these different codes, you can try to find a friend or family member that can help you get it using their device. And then once you click this button, it will automatically put the word Minecraft in the chat and you just need to send the message. And then once a message is sent, you can see right there, I sent the message in. Then if you look back up here to this icon, you see there's a little one notification. So if you go ahead and click on that once again, this will pop up. This copy redeem prompts, redeem at right there. You'll redeem it at minecraft.net redeem. I'll put this link in the description. And then there's your code. You just copy this code, click the copy button. I went ahead and actually sent this code over to my desktop, make it a little bit easier to redeem, so I wouldn't have to use my phone for this part. And then on the redeem page, you want to scroll all the way down to all the different things that you can redeem. And there's your TikTok redemption. Then you can copy and paste your code in. Just make sure there's no spaces in the beginning or at the end. Then we go ahead and click submit. And then it's going to ask you to log into your Microsoft account. You could also log in prior to redeeming. And then once logged in, you'll see this here, TikTok Minecraft cape. And you just click confirm and it says you're good to go. So now your cape will show up in the Bedrock edition, but it won't show up in your Java edition until around July 8th. Now for the Twitch purple heart cape or the Twitch glitch mask, you'll have to join a Twitch live stream which drops enabled, which mine is, and I'll be live for quite a few hours after this video goes out. Now for the Twitch cape, you just need to come over here to Twitch and chill in somebody's stream. Make sure you are considered an active viewer, so you might want to type and have the audio not on mute, but just on really low. And then it'll take around 15 minutes in order to get the notification saying that you actually got the cape. It might take you a bit longer. You can also try refreshing the page if you have trouble, but then come over here in top right where it says notifications. If you're on mobile, you might have to minimize the actual stream so you can check your notifications over on the Twitch app. And then right here you can see where you can redeem the cape. And then you can just click this or you can highlight this to get the actual code and then take that over to the redemption page. And then just place it in over there and then you will confirm it and then the cape will eventually show up in your Bedrock edition. It might take like 24 hours for it to show up there. Now for the glitch mask, you actually do have to come in and subscribe. It can't be with a Twitch sub. It can be as low as a tier 1 sub. It can also be a gifted sub, but using your Prime sub won't get you the glitch mask. But using your Prime subs each and every month on Twitch is a great way to support me. If you guys do have Prime, I really appreciate everyone just remembering to renew that monthly. It does have to be done manually, but it really does help me out. Plus you get all the cool perks that all the other supporters get, and you don't have to pay anything extra, like getting your name displayed at the end of each of my videos. So I'll subscribe to our pal G-Key, hardcore Minecraft player, and we go ahead and we just complete the purchase.
Yo, RaysWorks, hast du dir dazu? Thank you, man.
And then once redeemed, you just go back up to your notifications, and you can see you got the code for the glitch mask. Once again, just highlight this and copy it, log into the account that you want to put it onto, and then you can paste it here. Just remember to remove like the period and all the other stuff that you accidentally also copied along with the redemption code, including spaces, and then just click submit. Then this page pops up and you just confirm it by clicking that, and then you're good to go. So for the 15-year anniversary cape, you just come down here to the redeem page, and I'll put this page in the description, and you click sign in to claim your 15-year anniversary cape. And then you sign in with your Microsoft account, same one that you want the cape to go onto, so make sure you double check that. So now that I'm signed in, we can go ahead and just scroll down. And after you wait for that thing to load, it might take a couple minutes, but just go ahead and wait. Then you can go ahead and claim your cape just by clicking this button here. And if you get this message, cape cannot be redeemed, please try again, just go ahead and try again. And you might have to wait a little while for this to load up. I had a bit of trouble trying to get this cape, so I had to refresh the whole page and then wait a little bit after clicking it. But now it says wear the cape. So the 15-year cape is the one that's currently available for Java Edition that you can put on immediately. You can see I currently have that pink cape on. And if you want to change capes out in Java Edition, first find the skin that you want to use, and then click the little extra one, click the edit, and then you can see the different capes you have to choose from. And here I already have the 15 cape available. So I select it and just click save and use. So now you'll have this cape in-game in Java Edition, where the other 2 capes will come to Java Edition, but it won't be until around July 8th. So if you did everything properly and waited up to a day, you can see you can get all 3 of the capes pretty quickly on the Bedrock Edition. And don't forget to log into the Bedrock Edition to get to the daily new outfit. There's a new one each day for 15 days, and they correspond with the different years of Minecraft. So this is like the 2009 version. Now come join my TikTok and Twitch streams and watch the behind the scenes of how I design all my different types of automatic farms and find those crazy tricks which eventually become so popular among the Minecraft community. And don't forget to use your Prime and get your name here at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.